Welcome.
Welcome! I am crazed.
And he doesn't sound too sure about that. And I am actually.
We're back with some more Doki Doki!
Doki Doki!
But with the side stories. I realized that we do not have, like 5 more episodes. We're gonna have more, because I did a little bit of off-air stuff. And I unlocked all of them. So when they say it was 6 side stories, I honestly thought it was 1, 2, 3, 4,
those
5,
are
6.
parts.
I thought that's what I meant. Like the parts. Like those are it. Like that's all they can muster.
That's one story in 2 parts.
So yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 in total. So this will be interesting. We're gonna have a lot more content, which I am okay with.
Alright.
I love this
Doki
series.
Doki for the rest of the year!
If they added like 6 more stories, then yes, we'd have it for life. But yeah, let's start with Understanding Part 1. What happened in Trust Part 2 again? Do you remember?
They got to know each other a bit better.
Yeah, and they had a really nice...
And they trusted each other.
Yeah, and then but someone opened the door at the
Indeed.
end. But who was it?
Possibly Yuri.
Nah. It has to be a new person that's like no longer in the game. It's dead.
Nah.
Deleted. We'll find out. Let's go. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn their heads, not heels. I guess that would still make sense, both of them.
Yeah.
Unless they're not wearing heels. Do people in Japan wear heels at school?
This part of the foot is also called a heel.
I guess I'm not wrong in that statement. Anyway, let's continue. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar.
Ha! You are man.
Oh. Do you take wine? I was gonna say, do you take wine? Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monica.
It's her. It's the girl.
It's true. The girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across, reading alone in a classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she's found her way to the club.
Ooh, sorry. Are you here for the literature club by any chance?
Am I in the wrong place?
No, you're not. This is the literature club. Please come inside.
The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail, containing her excitement. Wait, Sayori continues to fail, containing her excitement.
You read it perfectly.
I thought I read it wrong when I said it out loud.
It's happening! Oh my god! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry, it's a little empty. I'm Monica, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club, even though it's just us so far. But
did we mention we have butts? That's like 4 more people.
we hope to have a cupcake bazooka soon.
Bringing it back.
What's your name, by the way?
I'd like to join your club.
Already?
Well, she didn't even say her name also. She was just like, my name is I'd like to join your club?
Wait, really? Are you sure?
I mean, I should be good enough.
Ha ha ha. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough.
Oh.
Do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you,
I know, she just basically said, you know.
Alright.
The girl nods. Or, nods, sliding over to the nearby desk and gently sitting down.
So, what's your name?
We just said it. It was, You're, Yuri.
I'm Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, I already...
Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Because you're the only fan I see. Ha! Ba-dum.
Carry on! Like books?
No, have you heard... I'm gonna be like, have you heard of Game of Thrones? That's fantasy. Yuri looks at Monica. Sorry, that was like a huge delay.
Fantasy is cool.
Yes. Have you heard of Annabelle DuPont?
Ah, I can't say I have.
Oh, well, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books. I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Sorry, I'm not... I haven't been talking the entire time in the last chapter. So
yeah,
I was
just like, what, one night of recording?
Okay.
Um.
Why do people keep calling her Monica stammers, caught completely off
Her
guard.
name is Yuri, not Monica!
Get it right! You can see her face is like, get it right! Caught completely off... Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help.
I'd love to! It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great!
I am so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. She never comes back.
You probably only need to bring one for now.
Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. True. Okay. I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances.
Oh my god. I wasn't prepared for this.
More human interaction.
How do I handle someone so intense? I have, no experience with fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably like a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monica, you don't think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I got really anxious all of a sudden. That's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. Ah ha ha, what the heck. It's kinda scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay! That's exactly what I want to do! Besides,
Sayori lowers her voice.
I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get.
She taps her finger against the dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterward, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which combined with her short time gone indicates she may have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought to her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. She gets a whiteboard out and just starts making circles and Was like the little yarn strings that just connect all the dots. Sayori nervously interjects.
Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. You know, I think, like, if we're going to be reading together, then I would like that.
From across the room, Monica smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Smiles and nods. Oh, I'm not really into that. I'm sorry. Goodbye. like you overstepped your boundaries. Okay. Yuri sits down, then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add.
So, what made you decide you want to join the club?
Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault, since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because she forced her hand on my desk by putting putting a flyer on my table. Yuri glances over at Monica.
Monica?
Monica came into my classroom and put the file on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens, and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid, I got too nervous and I couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monica told everyone how inconsiderate I was. But I decided that was probably irrational.
Wait. No, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just, walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by.
Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario.
That's human nature.
Human natural. Natural. It's only human natural. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too. Such as there being too many people. Not that I don't mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So, it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time.
Aw, that makes me happy! I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come!
Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never actually had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same thing I am, except online. So I thought the literature club could provide a chance for me to do that.
What kinds of other things are you into?
Like genres?
I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature.
I like knives. Just things you would think are dumb, like knives. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face.
How about I'll tell you about something I'm into, and then you can tell me about something you're into?
I suppose that would be okay, if you're into knives.
Okay! Well, I'm pretty into, crafty things. Like making cute little collages or decorating things. Like cards or jewelry boxes.
I didn't even know that.
Me either. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends. But then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into.
You sound quite creative.
Not that much. It's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff.
Did you say scissors? I like cutting myself. Too much? Too much, got it.
Too much too soon.
So I have to share something that I'm into, right? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature.
I love nature! Monica, I'm gonna start a nature club! No, you are not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not. Oh, yeah. Well, I hereby appoint you as Vice President of the Literature Club.
It happened.
There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods, or to the park. Just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. You know a thing or two about that, right, Monica?
Indeed. When do you like to do that?
It just depends on my mood. Like right now. Bye. Just leaves. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Like right now. Goodbye.
Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that.
I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation, led primarily by Sayori, but with Monica chiming in every now and then as well. Monica had intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more.
Oh, it looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So, are you two going to be starting on that book the next club meeting? That's the plan!
I'm so excited. Sayori beams. Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monica with a gentle smile.
Bye!
As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monica are left in the club room.
Sayori, you're a lifesaver. I didn't do anything. I just talked. Still. Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice that I can put my energy toward other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kinda scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great.
After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has had their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. Yes. This is interesting. I like this. I like these little side stories. They're just like expanding upon the lore that was already established, or like, already kind of laid out, and just establishing new stuff. Sorry, I had a drink. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the club room, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the club room.
It's club time again! Monica went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay?
To recharge?
I am recharging.
Had to put in my ports. Put it all in my ports. Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Sayori tilts her head, unsure exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books, and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so...
Oh! Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were.
Well, still. I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it.
Huh? Why?
Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested.
But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing.
I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me.
That's not what I was doing.
A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them.
Well, the thing is, we don't even have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly. So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like, as a club activity. That would be okay, right?
Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this.
It's okay, Yuri. Just shut up and let's read. No, just kidding. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here.
Sayori pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book.
Dusk Bell. Part 1 of the Everlast Saga.
Part 1 of 27.
It's a saga, so there's gonna be quite a few. Ah, it's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now.
Oh right, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper.
Wait, how come you need paper?
Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just taking notes.
Notes!
Oh no, this is homework.
Yes, that is effective strategy!
Exactly. I'm sure it'll be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. She's like, I'm in deep shit. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. But thinking about it, she decided that it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to make it as accessible as possible.
I trust you. You're like super smart.
Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and lightly blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. Especially you.
No!
She does it in like a really happy face, like, no!
No!
Sayori rubs her shoulders against Yuri's.
You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy.
Anyway, would you like to get started?
Okay.
After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details the races, factions, histories, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along.
Aww.
It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of this story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards.
How do people come up with the stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do.
What kind of writing?
Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are like just putting down the feeling that came into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work.
Ah, you're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs.
No way!
Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun.
Yay!
Anyway, I think we can get started reading now, if you're ready. It's like an hour or two of just like explaining the lore, and they're like, now we can officially read this damn book.
They open to the first page and it's time to go home. Okay, but I can't read very fast.
Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. It's in Braille, so you better learn.
Oh shit.
She's just running her fingers around the whole page. Just patience is something I pride myself in.
I see.
Sayori jots Yuri is patient into her notes. Hey, that's for the book.
I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of glad you're patient, because I need that sometimes. A lot of times.
Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents.
Okay, chapter 1.
Time to leave. And that's the end of the club. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But then the silence only lasts for a moment because Sayori speaks up again.
Why does...
Who, what, when, where, why?
What does vindicated mean?
Ah, well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent.
It's okay to ask questions, right?
Of course. Sayori turns the page.
Are these footnotes?
Mm-hmm. A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. Kind of like, have you ever had footnotes like that with, I've seen that in manga.
I've seen that in The Last of the Mohicans.
Do they do that in Shakespeare's writing, especially in, like, the Spark Notes?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's been a long time since I read Spark Notes.
When I had Spark Notes for William Shakespeare stuff, it was translated from, like, his writing to, like, proper American English. Because I was like, I can't I even did that with, like, Huckleberry Finn because I could not read it.
You were telling me about that.
It was so hard to read.
You had me to read a bit of it.
Yeah, it was just so ridiculous, like how to just understand. I'm sure people could understand the book, but it was just like in a southern take, and I'm like, I can't read this. Anyway, oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
The two continued reading. Sorry, we lost track. I thought it was kind of nice.
We should start our own little book club, me and you.
You mean a literature podcast?
Nah.
Just
we
a
should
club?
just read books and tell each other about them.
Alright.
Or the same book and discuss.
Ooh, I like that idea. It's got me into it after this.
Our first book is A Tale Dark and Grim.
Okay. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expression had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. My. How the turntables.
Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present?
Where? You mean when?
Right here.
They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having.
But they didn't tell me that.
It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. I thought it said something else.
What did you think it said?
That starts with an N.
Oh.
And ends with an ipples.
Oh dear.
The two, like she's just turned on from this.
From all this.
She's like, ask me more questions. The two of them continue with Sayori asking fewer questions. She's like, I need to stop now. It's turning her on. She begins to understand the value in the notes, as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often, and even adding to them. But a reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. Chapter 1, out of like 300.
Probably.
I think we can stop here for now.
Okay.
Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far, which is like 2 pages.
Oh, no, fantasy chapters are like 10, 15 pages.
So what are your thoughts?
At least the books I've read.
Which ones?
They had like, what's the author's name? Oh, Dritz is a dark elf.
What's the book called?
It was a trilogy, so it was like about this thick. And it had all 3 books in there. I will Google it so you can put up a picture right here.
Thank you.
Gotcha. But it was really good. I recommend it.
Alright.
I want to read the rest of his books, but I'm missing one.
Missing one?
I think they're all down in my parents' crawl space now, so I better see if they're like infested or not.
Ugh, I would hate to go down there and find out.
Carry on!
So what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find words.
Am I doing well so far?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I didn't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best so I can see it the way you do.
The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things.
We can continue tomorrow, right?
Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow.
But...
I'm sorry.
Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves.
You weren't making me.
Sayori is left alone with her words.
How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back?
You know what's bothering me?
What?
Her character design. You know, she has one button underneath her ribbon, or her bow tie, that's not buttoned. You see that?
Oh, I think it sort of plays into how messy and how depressed she is. She doesn't feel like she needs to do everything all the way.
I can kind of get that. Yeah, you know, like she doesn't need to look pretty for someone.
It's the minor details.
Yeah, like, because who is she trying to impress? You know?
Right.
It was just annoying because I'm not OCD about it,
bow
but
tie compared to the other girls, I'm sure hers is a bit more slack looking.
yeah, like droopy.
Yes. But I'll have to look at the other girls to be sure.
Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them.
Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. Oh, this is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her.
Fade to black. Whoa! Alright, that's the end of this.
That's the end of that part.
That is, and we'll go into part 2 of Understanding in the next episode.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please like that button, subscribe, ring that bell, as it just helps out on the channel.
It does.
Until then, I'm Crazed.
And I'm Witchley. Grumble on.